Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lana and I'm body-oriented psychotherapist. I use a holistic approach in my work, which means that we connect body, emotions, and the soul. Today I want to talk to you about life, actually the spark of life. What is that inside of us that makes us alive? And why are we losing contact to that? Why are we basically surviving in our everyday experience here on Earth? When I was feeling into it, I have actually created a course, The Spark of Life, which I will be telling you more about later in this video. But when I was feeling into it, I realized that it is not that big of a difference between biological approach to life as in with philosophical approach to life. So some conditions needed to be met. I am not a biologist, so I don't have the understanding and the awareness of how exactly life is created. How does a living being come to be? But what I do know, and what I am sure every one of you knows when you feel into it, that life cannot be, we cannot feel alive without light and warmth, without water and flow, and without air, oxygen, and breath. So when I was feeling into it, these are the three conditions that are important for us to feel alive. To breathe deeply, not to hold our breath, not to suppress, and not to resist life. While we're breathing, we are inviting flow of energy through our body, through our system, through our emotions, and through our spirit. And that flow is happening in the here and now. But when we do feel that flow, we are in a way feeling into the past, the future, and the now. There is no difference. We are whole. And light of our soul, light of our presence. Without that light, who are we without our light? That is the question. And that's where we come to how we create our identities. So I want to share my personal experience of this and how this course basically came to be. And I became aware while I was going through a very difficult situation in my life that what hurts in that situation is not what actually happened, not what caused trauma, but it was me turning my back to my light, me trying to pretend that there is no light inside of me. And that brought me to this sense of almost drowning in the darkness. And I realized that when I come back to my light, when I feel into my light, everything is okay. And then flow brings maybe suppressed emotions, maybe unresolved issues that I can look, that I can see. Why are they keeping me stuck, or why I am keeping them stuck? And then I can allow myself to be all that I am. And by being all that I am, I don't mean that if I'm in contact with my light, that all that I am is just unicorns and fairies, although it can be. But it's the fullness of everything that I am. And it's the integration of all of those parts of me that we call the shadow. So in this experience, we are going through, number one, what anchors me. It's important to find our resource, our anchor, and our essence. What is that inside of me that is essential, that is substance of my life? We all have contact with that. I mean, maybe we are not aware of it. Maybe it's somewhere hidden, but it is here. And once we make that clear intention, we can find that contact and find the anchor in our essence. Then we can dive deeper into What is that inside of me that I don't allow to flow? What are the emotions, words, sentences, feelings that I never expressed? What is there inside of me that needed to be said that never was? What are there maybe songs or arts that wanted to see the light of day but it never happened for one reason or another? Then we can explore our mask, our shadow, and our essence. And what is our shadow? We define shadow as a belief system we create based on a traumatic experience. And what we dive deeper into is, how are we resisting life? How are we keeping our essence and maybe our darkness, our hidden parts somewhere in the shadow, which are actually creating our reality unconsciously? We are not aware of that. And while we go even deeper into it, we go into, why are we saying no to life, and how that no to life was protecting us at one point. And we learn, where is our yes to life also. Now, when we're talking about yes and no to life, that's actually something that is very clearly felt in the body. What is that inside of me that is saying yes to life? So, for example, a friend asks me out, and I can feel, is this my yes or my no? Maybe by going out, yes, I want to go out, I want to connect, I want to feel alive, I want to be with people. Or my yes to life can be if I say no to her, you know? So my yes is then no. I want to be by myself, or I don't want to see that friend because I don't feel I can be authentic in front of her, or whatever it is. So where is my yes and where is my no? But this goes even deeper than this example, because our no is the way we are resisting life. And our yes is when we are open, in the flow, and in contact with our light. And we will dive deeper into how and why are we neglecting our light. And our life is what I shared with my example. This is, of course, very individual for every one of us. What is that part of me that is in the shadow, and what is that part of me that is resisting, that is saying no to life, that doesn't feel safe, that feels that maybe it needs to suffer, that that's the way things should be, that people are going to hurt us, or that it's unsafe, that we should be anxious all the time and on alert, because who knows what the next day can bring. And of course, on top of that shadow, we have what we call a mask, and we may think, why can I never get something? Why doesn't ever something good happen to me, or tra-la-la? But basically underneath is something that is someone that is very potent and creative, who is saying, no, this is how things are. And we, in this process of finding back our spark of life, can look at that. But this is not healing. We look at that, so we bring light to that. We bring it into our consciousness, and then we also bring a part of us that knows how to heal. And that part of us doesn't come from our human ego or from our mask. It comes from our essence. It is the eternal sense of safety, compassion, love, life, beauty, light, you name it. Now, in this course, we are going deep into these processes, and everyone has to see that for themselves and get to know themselves. What is that for me? And of course, the most important part is to see and feel your light, and bring your light now. Feel it, enjoy it, and radiate your light. And also, it's important to know and understand, why are we abandoning our light? Why and how are we doing it? Why are we dimming our light? And what does that do to us? Because if I say I will shine my light, but not for maybe these people, or maybe not for that person, I don't like her, she hurt me. We're actually crippling ourselves. So being in our light means to be in our light, first for ourselves, but then for everyone. Because that is what lights do. They shine. They don't have other options. And every one of us is that life and that light. And that light is main factor, so to say, for us to feel alive, for us to say yes to life, and for us to live. And it's very tangible, and it makes all the difference in the world. And as I said, for me, when I was going through a difficult situation, of course, life brings pain. But being in our light is what makes all the difference. Our light nourishes our pain. Our light brings healing. Our light holds us, gives us hope and faith. But if we feel like we're turning our back to our light, we feel like we're literally drowning in darkness. And every trauma and difficulties that we have ever experienced becomes 100 times harder. So yes, this is actually very deep. This is very deep process. Acknowledging your own light and seeing why have we abandoned it, and why are we maybe still doing it? Why are people doing that? Can you imagine if we were all connected to our lights? Would there be need for wars in this world? No, of course not, because we would all shine. And this is something that each and every one of us has to take responsibility for individually. We can't take that responsibility for anyone else. It's our own inner hero's journey back to our light. And after that, when we feel that the presence of that light, we can see what aliveness means to us, how aliveness flows through us, through our body. How can we be in movement of life? What does it really mean to be alive? And how can we create and knit our life from that space of aliveness? Aliveness flow. Imagine as if you have a river, as a water. It just flows. It flows, it flows, it flows, and you may not even know where it's going to go and how it's going to show up, but the water, they say, finds its way. And that is how life finds its way into our human experience. So what is that makes you feel alive? It's also something that we will explore, everyone for ourselves. I can tell you what does it mean for me. For me, it means the fullness of being in the body, of this embodied experience. And when I was feeling into it, I realized that aliveness for me means the essence of embodied realization. It means that I am fully present in my body, not as a human, but as everything that I am, as a soul. And in this vastness of presence, I am one with everything, but I don't project myself, but I feel myself as in this embodied presence in everything. And I am none of it, because I am presence. Is very clear. It comes from the essence. This may seem maybe abstract, but it's a very clear feeling. I may be missing the words to express it in the fullness of what it is and what it means to me and how precious and sacred it is. And everyone will, of course, see for themselves what does it mean to be alive. And then after that, we can allow ourselves to really be in this movement and to really flourish and to feel what is that uniqueness, what is that authentic uniqueness of me. How do I flourish, and what is my scent? It's like we're flowers, And as these beautiful flowers, we have these specific qualities as scents. So sometimes, like comparing ourselves to others, it makes no sense. Can you imagine Rose comparing herself to Lily? But Lily is so much more gentle than I am. I have thorns. Yes, but you're a rose and you're beautiful and amazing. And yeah, what is that scent of me when I'm fully alive, and how do I want to express that, and how do I want to live that, and how do I want to show up for that? So what I've shared is basically what we will do in this course, the Spark of Life. And this really comes from the deepest part of my being. And I am so deeply grateful for everyone who was a part of it, and listening to your stories, it just really touches me on so many levels. I mean, I literally feel like if I die tomorrow, something is here, some part of me will always be here, and that's beautiful. And of course, I will leave you in the link all of the important information you need to know about this course. But whether you decide to join us or not, you can always ask yourself, how can I bring into my life more light, more flow, and more breath? Because these three conditions are quite simple, and they actually make all the difference in the world. I will also share with you some guided experience about how to be in contact with our essence and how to be in the flow, and some movement practices that can maybe also support this process of feeling this spark of life. And I thank you so much for being here in this video, and yes, I will see you soon.